believe this is so sloppy. Like, I
Oh.
can't.
And by the way, I think they were making dishes in China by then. I don't think they were making
I think
dishes
so. I
domestically.
think that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was completely critical, and we also felt that it was really important in all things that we looked at that whoever
I'll
was.
just say overseas was making things overseas.
Yeah, it says offshore.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And so one of the other firms that had made stuff, right, was Picard, right? And I wouldn't say that it's Kismet. I think that sounds stupid. I would just say, just luckily we're made in Illinois. We're made in Illinois.
Yeah.
Which had been but it was really, I would say, in all these, the thing that I'd add to this is in all decisions like this, anything that could help a business, like even me buying the Bennington pottery or whatever, anything that could be perceived as, something that was going to shine a light. I mean, I think we should go backwards and add a line like, that there used to be X amount of China producers, even as close to the 60s, there were Lennox, the thing, like, whatever, zillions of other China producers.
True, yeah.
They basically were gone. And, so they were familiar with the process. Okay. And then through a series of meetings, we should enter what's Andy, whatever his name, what's his name, Andy Picard Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked to him, and Bill, right, for the next year, there were lots and lots of back and forth. We need to fill this out with quotes from Andy, but I had worked on a variety of renderings with Mark Matisak of the shapes and things, and internally he and I did, a dozen or so variations on things before we came up with a presentation which we showed to the First Lady.
And did you have to show it to the the committee?
Not until later.
Okay.
I don't think so, no. I mean, I don't think we did that until we really basically had the samples.
Okay.
Yeah. We decided, also I think that we decided, I also had a thing about the teacup. I wanted a more European, I think a straight-sided, it was clear that more people were drinking coffee, so I wanted a kind of European coffee cup. The teacups felt, difficult to carry, difficult to maneuver, and people weren't really drinking. We felt that like coffee was going to be the order of the day, and so a kind of European coffee cup. Also, they don't teeter as much. They kind of are more solid, easy to move around, and just aesthetically simpler. Shallot Pasta Bowl was one that Thomas Keller, in the main course. Yeah. So all this is true. We used the blue as well as the president sparingly. 11 pieces. That's cool. The same number. Great. And the reason we ordered the number of settings is because they were seeing that the amount over entertaining were getting so damaged and stuff. Right.
I don't think we need to go into what was served at that dinner. This must be from a press release.
Yeah. Did they use the terrine that first dinner? I want to put. I think so. By the way, I think it was unveiled as part of the press release for the state dinner. I think we have to look at how it was released, and we should put a quote or something someone said about it at the time. But I want to know when the first time the terrine was used, because I think that's really important.
Okay. And we have pictures of her showing. Honestly, it's the guy that I sent from AD. There are all these pictures of her showing it at the pressing. There's a picture of President Obama, at the unveiling.
So we should put that. Put that in there, and then some process stuff. Yeah, I think the dishes are sort of a big part of it.
Well, it was a way that, in a very public way, that they could put their imprint on the White House in a way that lots of people could see. A lot of what you did was in the private spaces. And
and I think exactly, and I think this was something that was traditional. This was, a traditional kind of thing to do. I think this was something that was, that was impactful and needed. It was it's sort of everything. They needed a bigger set because they were entertaining. I think this can take me into that the bridge could be that, they needed all these service because they were giving very, very unlike, they may not have given as many